Flames roared across the screen as the alien troops torched the embassy. LT. Mara Kincaid gripped the tablet tighter, her knuckles white. A hulking figure in iridescent armor, Praetor Commander Sharon himself, planted a clawed boot on the smoldering American flag. He grounded into the dirt, his mandibled face twisted in triumph for the galactic broadcast. Kincaid's jaw clenched. They just volunteered for a siege. She slammed the tablet down on the makeshift command table, a scavenged crate in the ruins of Forward Base Echo. Shrapnel scars pitted the walls around her. Distant booms echoed from the alien siege lines encircling New Liberty, the human capital on Epsilon Eridani IV. Her brigade, 3,000 survivors from the initial rout, was down to ragged companies cut off from Earth's coalition fleets. No time for rage. Kincaid keyed her comms. Rook, report to CP, double time. Command Sergeant Major Eli Rook burst through the flap seconds later, his fatigues torn, face smeared with grease. Colonel, stragglers are inbound, half-starved, half-mutinous. Lock 'em down, Kincaid said. Rebuild the chain of command, platoon leaders first, then sergeants. No exceptions. Issue ammo and MREs only to those who salute. Rook nodded once, eyes hard. On it, they'll bitch. Let 'em, we fight as one or die scattered. She pointed at the tablet, replaying the flag stomping. Sharon thinks we're primitives, show him discipline. Rook snorted. Discipline's our boot on his neck. He wheeled out, barking orders into his radio. Kincaid grabbed her rifle and helmet. Goal, supplies. The nearest depot lay 2 clicks east, pulverized by orbital strikes but maybe salvageable. She needed maps of the capital's undergrid, fuel for the few remaining Bradleys, and comms gear to link her scattered units. She slipped out with a fire team of 6, veterans with eyes like hawks. They humped through rubble-choked streets, boots crunching glass. Alien drones whirred overhead, but Kincaid's squad hugged shadows, moving foxhole to foxhole. A patrol of Kresh warriors blocked the depot approach, 8-foot behemoths with plasma lances and vibro claws. Their chatter buzzed in Kincaid's earpiece translator. Primitives scatter like vermin. Kincaid signaled halt. She scanned wrecked APCs, spilled fuel drums. One Bradley sat half-buried, tracks intact. Flank left, she whispered. Suppress, then breach. Her team unlimbered. Private Lena fired first. A burst from her M4 chewed into the nearest Kresh. The alien staggered, armor sizzling. Plasma bolts scorched the air in reply, melting a dumpster. Kincaid rolled forward, lobbing a frag. It exploded amid the patrol, shredding 2. The survivors charged, claws gleaming. She fired controlled bursts, chest shots dropped 1. Another leaped, her fire team saw gunner hosed it down. The last Kresh swung wide. Kincaid sidestepped, drove her rifle butt into its mandible. It cracked. She finished it point blank. Clear, she called. Heart pounding, she waved them in. The depot yielded gold, laminated sewer maps of New Liberty, jerry cans of diesel, and a crate of encrypted radios. They loaded the Bradley, miracle intact, engine coughing to life under Sergeant Hale's jury rig. Outcome loaded and rolling back before drones swarmed. Kincaid keyed Rook en route. Depot hit, fuel and comms inbound, rally points set. Affirmative, Rook growled. 200 locked in, rest trickling. Back at CP, crates stacked, Kincaid pored over maps. New Liberty's heart, government spire, fusion plant, spaceport lay under siege. Sharon's legions ringed it, shield walls, artillery nests, gunships. Evac was the coalition's order, fall back to orbitals, let fleets handle it. Not her play, retake the capital, force surrender. By Earth time, she summoned Major Tomas Ibarra. The intel officer slid in, lean and sharp-eyed, datapad glowing. Sharon's doctrine, Kincaid said. They swarm weak points, ignore feints, bait their surveillance. Ibarra grinned faintly. False traffic, already modeling. Send ghost signals from the south, evac routes, mimic brigade retreat, draw their eyes. Do it. Plant decoy convoys, wrecked civvy trucks, drones towing dummies, make it look desperate. Conflict brewed in his paws. Coalition comms say evac, Colonel, risky. Risk collapse if we run, she tapped the map. Their shield perimeter has gaps at the old metro vents, we breach there. Ibarra nodded. Ghost signals live in 10, they'll bite. He vanished into the shadows, teams deploying under his lead. Kincaid watched drone feeds, fake radio chatter burst, evac Bravo pulling out. Bogus truck lights flickered south. Kresh gunships peeled off, surveillance pods trailed the bait. Perfect. Rook stomped back in, dragging a sullen lieutenant by the collar. This idiot was hoarding ammo. Kincaid eyed the officer. Explanation? Survival, ma'am, aliens unbreakable. She leaned close. They're not, strip him, confined to quarters. Rook hauled him out. Kincaid turned to Captain Niasato, who waited with blueprints. The engineer wiped soot from her hands. Vents, Sato asked. Prime breach point, Kincaid confirmed. Bridge the chasm, booby-trap the approaches. Your demo team's ready? Sato unrolled schematics. Charges set for sequential blasts, portable bridges from depot girders. But under fire tight. Make it work. Kincaid's voice brooked no doubt. Sato saluted crisp. Engineers don't fail. As Sato's crews mobilized, Kincaid gathered her officers in the CP glow. Rook, Ibera via radio, Sato linking in. 300 effectives mustered, armor patched, rifles zeroed. Listen up, Kincaid said. Coalition wants evac, we retake the capital. Sharon burned our embassy, stomped our flag. He underestimates us, thinks humans break. Rook grunted. Let him. Ibera's voice crackled. Bait's working, south perimeter thinning, 20% pull-off. Sato chimed. Bridges fabbed, vents prepped. Kincaid spread the map. Phase 1, Ibera's ghosts hold their eyes south. We infiltrate metro vents at 200. Sato breaches the shield wall. Rook's infantry secures fusion plant, cut their power. Eyes locked on her, no questions. Grit filled the air. Phase 2, assault the spire. Logistics first, fuel caches here, ammo dumps there. We own the night. Rook cracked his knuckles. They'll wake to hell. Kincaid nodded. Humans don't quit. We plan, we endure, move out. The brigade stirred like a beast rousing. Trucks growled low, troops double-timed to positions. Kincaid shouldered her rifle, stepping into the chill dark. Distant alien horns blared, victory chants over the embassy feed looping. She smiled cold. Sharon's confidence blinded him. His legions drilled for swarm assaults, not human logistics chains snaking underground. A runner skidded up. Colonel, drone feed, Kresh massing north, big push. Kincaid checked her pad. Ibera's bait worked too well. South feints pulled reserves, but north bulked up. Adapt. Reroute Sato's demo to north vents, double charges. The runner bolted. Kincaid climbed into the lead Bradley, engine thrumming. Her fire team piled in, faces set. Radio buzzed, Rook. Brigade Green, your lead. Rolling. She gripped the command strap as treads bit earth. Alien searchlights swept the horizon. Gunships hummed. New Liberty's spire pierced the stars, ringed by siege fires. Kincaid whispered to herself, You stomped our flag, now taste our boot. The vents yawned ahead, black maws to victory, but a Kresh patrol silhouette ghosted the rim. Hold fire, she ordered. Sato, booby now. Explosions ripped out. Claws and screams echoed. The path cleared. They plunged in. Darkness swallowed them. The counterstrike began. Sharon's surrender loomed, but first, blood and grit. Kincaid's Bradley lurched through the vent's throat, treads grinding gravel into dust. Red night vision bathed the tunnel walls in bloody glow. She keyed the radio. Sato, mark next junction. Rook, audit loads now. Rook's voice crackled back, gravel rough. On it, Colonel. These cherry pickers haul ass like tourists. The convoy snaked behind, 8 Bradleys, 10 trucks, 2 Abrams tanks nursed on fumes. Survivors from 3 shattered battalions forged into her brigade overnight. Goal, punch into the Kresh ammo yards at New Liberty's edge. Steal their stolen shells. Fuel the siegebreaker. Shell craters pock the wasteland ahead. The vents spat them onto cratered flats, moonscape from Kresh barrages. Kincaid scanned drone feed on her pad. Patrols ghosted 2 clicks east. Blackout drill, lights off, follow my dust. Engines cut to idle growls. Convoy ghosted forward, dodging sinkholes 20 meters wide. A truck dipped into one, axles screaming. Kincaid swore. Rook, extract 'em. Copy. Rook's Humvee peeled left. Troops rappelled down, winched the rig free. No shots fired. They rolled on. Halfway across, Rook's voice barked over net. All stops, gear check. Trucks halted in a crater's shadow. Troops piled out, faces smudged. Rook stalked the line, grizzled frame silhouetted against faint stars. He yanked a duffel from a private's back. Souvenirs spilled, alien trinkets, booze bottles, family photos. Panic loot, Rook growled. Dumps it or I do. The private hesitated. Rook's boot smashed the pile. Mission critical only. Ammo, water, medkits, rest feeds the enemy. Troops grumbled, then complied. Bags lightened. Rucks standardized. Kincaid watched from her hatch, nodded. Discipline won wars. Kresh swarmed with numbers. Humans chained logistics. Mount up, she ordered. Convoy surged forward. Craters thinned. Ruined overpasses loomed. Kresh Arty had dropped them like toys. Sato's engineer rig braked at the first collapse. Girders twisted into a chasm. Armor couldn't jump. "Sato, bridge it," Kincaid radioed. "Affirm." Sato hopped out, team hauling ribbon bridge sections. Plasma torches hissed. They lashed beams across the gap. M80 charges prepped for collapse. First Bradley rolled tentative. Held. Sato waved the convoy over. Tight formation. No sway. Trucks lumbered next, tires humming on steel. Last Abrams thumped across. Sato yanked detonators. Bridge buckled into the void behind no trace. Kincaid punched her thigh. "Clean work, push." Radio buzzed. Ibara's calm tenor. "Colonel, rival militia on Channel 3. Euro survivors holed up in the rail yards. They got drone batteries. We need eyes." Kincaid frowned. Rivals hoarded gear, fought each other while Kresh watched, but eyes pierced fog. "Patch 'em," a French accent crackled. "Kincaid, Capitaine Duval, we evac wounded." "Need seats on your birds." "Negative birds," Kincaid said, "but medevac chopper inbound dawn, 10 seats for 20 drone packs." Pause, 15 seats. 12, final. Deal struck. Convoy veered a click west. Rail yard flickered with cookfires. Duval's militia emerged, gaunt but armed. They swapped crates, batteries hummed fresh. Wounded loaded on stretchers, eyes wide at the brigade's order. "Merci," Duval muttered. "Kresh coming, bon chance." Kincaid didn't reply. Convoy rolled east again. Drone feeds bloomed on her pad, full spectrum now. Kresh gunships droned north, chasing Ibara's feints. Perfect. Then horizon hummed, gunships reversed, sensors sweeping south. "Shit," Kincaid hissed. "Hard right, flood tunnel 500 meters." Convoy dove for the yawning maw, old infrastructure, half flooded, treads splashed into muck. Kincaid's Bradley plunged last, turret scraping concrete, darkness total. Engines idled silent. Gunships thundered overhead. Search beams stabbed the wastes. One swept the tunnel lip. Kincaid held breath. Seconds stretched. Beams wheeled away. Rotors faded north. "Clear," she whispered. "Sato, seal the mouth. Rook, form Alpha line." They emerged into industrial sprawl. Kresh-held factories hulked, smokestacks venting plasma glow. Ammo yards ringed the core, crates of human shells, looted and stacked for their swarm guns. Guards patrolled, hulking Kresh in carapace armor, claws twitching. Kincaid studied drone feed. 2 platoons, drone nests, 1 Titan walker slumbering by the gates. "Ibara, your ghosts ready?" "Affirm, decoy flares north, they'll bite." Flare plumes erupted kilometers off. Kresh heads snapped. Half the guards peeled away. Kincaid smiled. "Alpha on me, breach and grab, Beta secures exfil." She dropped into the hatch. Fire team fanned out, silenced, rifles up. They low-crawled through scrap heaps, boots silent on slag. Sato's demo team flanked, breaching charges coiled. 50 meters out, Kresh sentry sniffed air. Kincaid's suppressed shot cracked its skull. Body slumped. They ghosted on. Gate loomed. Titan's eye glowed dormant. Sato slapped charges on the lockbox. Whisper click. Gate swung. Inside, shells gleamed. 556 crates, 120 rounds, propellant drums. Troops swarmed, loading slings. "Priority tank ammo," Kincaid snapped. Stacked trucks. Rook muscled crates solo, veins bulging. "Faster, maggots, clocks ticking." Alarms wailed. Kresh reinforcements boiled from barracks, claws sparking plasma rifles. Bullets met them. Human fire chewed carapace. Kresh fell, ichor spraying. Titan woke. Legs whirred, cannons swiveled. "Sato," Kincaid yelled. Engineers fired RPGs. Missiles slammed joints. Titan staggered, toppled. Sato's demo blew its reactor. Fireball lit the yard. Trucks groaned full. Last crate slung. "Exfil now." Convoy reversed hard, guns blazing cover. Kresh pursued, but Bradley's coke shredded them. They burst from the zone, shells secured. Kincaid keyed net. "Rook, disperse loads. Sato, rig demo on vents behind. Ibara next phase." Sharon's voice boomed over captured comms, furious. "Primitives, you steal scraps." She grinned. "Scraps that end you." Drone feed shifted. Capital's walls loomed closer. Gunships banked back, but now brigade rolled loaded. Siege broke at dawn. Rook's voice cut in. "Incoming fast movers, Colonel, Kresh heavies." Kincaid gripped her rifle. "Armor forward." "We hit the line." Bradley surged forward, treads chewing mud. Shells from the resupply run slammed into Kresh bunkers. Explosions bloomed orange against the Capital's outer wall. Kincaid braced in her command track, optic locked on the breach. "Ibara, eyes on patrols." "Provoke them now." Major Tomas Ibara's voice crackled over the net. "Faint squads out, bait the drills." Human rifle teams dashed from cover, firing bursts at sensor towers. Kresh drones whirred alive. Patrol skimmers lifted on grav plates, claws gripping pulse cannons. They swept in predictable arcs, left flank first, then center hold right pincer. Ibara's drone feed patched to Kincaid's screen. Lines traced patterns, every response looped the same vector. Got it, Ibara said. They drill by rote, no adaptation. Fast movers screamed in, Kresh heavies, bulbous fighters with plasma lances. Bradley's chain guns spat tracers. One heavy shredded mid-dive, wreckage cartwheeling. Kincaid keyed open channel. Pull feints, armor screen, fall back. Troops melted into ditches. Heavies strafed empty ground. Patrols circled, blind to the ghosts. Convoy reversed clean. Kincaid watched Ibara's map solidify. Patrol loops clocked at 14 minutes, gaps at 800 hours. Perfect, she murmured, sensors first. Not guns, dusk fell. Kincaid crouched in the forward op, Beano sweeping the perimeter. Seismic lines snaked the kill zone, Kresh automation tripwired to every bootfall. Sato, she whispered into the radio. Crawl it, cut by hand, no power tools. Captain Nia Sato's breath rasped soft. On it, Colonel, blades only. Sato bellied out from the tree-line engineer pack low. Mud sucked at her elbows. She sliced the first cable cluster, vibro knife parting fiber bundles. Sparks died silent. Next line, 20 meters on. A patrol skimmer hummed past, 50 meters out. Sato froze, blade mid-cut. Grav field washed over her. It passed. She severed the line, sweat beaded her brow. Kincaid tracked her dot on the thermal feed. Sato hit the fifth cluster. Knife slipped, twang of wire snapping loud in the night. Patrol vector shifted. Skimmer banked. Sato rolled into a shell crater, pack deflated. Skimmer scanned, circled once, resumed loop. Sato crawled on, last cut. Perimeter blind in Sector 3, she reported, voice gravel. Coming back. Kincaid exhaled. Rook, your rehearsal, silent now. Command Sergeant Major Eli Rook's growl filled the net. Platoon leads, form up, ghost drill. In the ravine behind lines, Rook paced the assault teams. Fingers signaled. Low crawl, breach, hub smash. Troops slithered forward on elbows, mock charges slung. Boots dragged silent over gravel. One private young, twitchy, scraped concrete with his heel. Echo bounced faint. Rook's hand slashed abort. You, he hauled the kid up by collar. One scrape wakes the hub. We die pinned again. Troops reset. Rook drilled them twice more, no sound. Pass, gear check. Dawn grayed the sky. Kincaid stood in the TOC tent, map lit red. 3 points marked, east sensor node, west relay, central hub. Raid launches 6:15. Sato breaches east. Rook takes west. Ibara's decoys pull patrols central. I lead the hub with captures. Rook nodded, loading mags. Sato taped demo packs. Ibara synced drone jammers. Eyes met, no speeches. They mounted up. East Point, Sato's engineers ghosted through the cut lines. No quakes tripped. They hit the node, boxy Kresh array pulsing blue. Charges slapped on. Breached, Sato whispered. Boom rippled low, node cratered. West, Rook's squad low-crawled the gap. Patrols skimmed overhead. Jammer drone buzzed it off course. They stacked on the relay tower. Rook kicked the hatch. Inside, 2 Kresh spotters chittered alarm. Knives flashed. Carapaces split. Relay smashed. West down, Rook grunted. Central hub loomed in Kincaid's sights. Dome bristling antennas. Seismic core buried deep. Her platoon flanked it under Ibara's misdirection. Fake thermal blooms drew patrols looping wide. They hit fast. Breaching charges popped the door. Kresh guards whirled, 3 of them, claws sparking. Kincaid's burst centermassed the lead. It crumpled, ichor bubbling. Rook's team poured suppressing fire. Sato's sappers lobbed frags into the core vents. Explosions chained inside. Hub shuddered, lights dying. Last Kresh raised claws, surrender posture, mandibles clicking. Kincaid zip-tied its limbs. Spotter team secured, hub gone. Raiders exfiltrated clean, dragging captives. Trucks rumbled back to lines. Kincaid dropped into her seat, rifle hot across knees. Captured comm units squawked, encrypted burst from Praetor Commander Sharon. Ibara cracked it fast. Kincaid plugged in her earpiece. Sharon's voice hissed, fury lacing the alien tones. Sensors dark across Arc 3, primitive sabotage automation, dispatch redundance manual sweeps only, no more reliance on nets. Kincaid's lips curled. Automation, they leaned on it hard. No human fallback grit. Ibara logged that. Rook interrogates spotters, Sato plot next cuts. Brigade net lit with confirmations. Perimeter crumbled blind. Capital walls waited, guns silent without eyes. Rook burst into the TOC, dragging a bound Kresh spotter. Its compound eyes darted. "Talks basic trade Ling," Rook said. "Says hub loss forces full manual patrols. Sharon pissed calls us dirt scuttlers who cheat." Kincaid leaned in. "Ask about inner defenses." Rook prodded with boot. Spotter chittered. "Walls have kinetic shields but sensor-fed. Blind now, they overload easy." Kincaid nodded. Logistics shifted. Ammo to breachers, engineers to shield piercers. Night 2. Sato's crawlers severed deeper lines, inner ring. No trips. Patrols wandered blind, skimmers crashing into dunes. Ibera fed fakes, ghost signals mimicking Kresh signatures. Patrols chased shadows. Kincaid watched drone feed. Gaps widened. "Rook, morale check. High Colonel, boys smell blood." Rook wiped ichor from his knife. Troops sharpened blades, stacked crates. No cheers, just quiet purpose. Third dawn, Sharon's bursts grew frantic. Manuals report sabotage, deploy heavies to walls. But heavies lumbered slow, no sensor net to guide. Kincaid's armor probed. Bradley's nosed the perimeter. Kresh fire sprayed wild. Human coaxials answered precise. A bunker fell, then 2. Ibera patched a fresh intercept. Sharon barked orders. "Primitives adapt, impossible, they swarm like vermin." Kincaid keyed her own recorder. "Not swarming, planning." She cut the link. Raid 2 launched. 3 points again, shield generators. Sato bridged a moat with scavenged girders under fire, welders sparking. Rook's assault cleared the East Jenny, demo packs blooming. Kincaid's team hit central. Kresh counterpushed, claws and plasma. Humans flanked, grenades rolling. Ibera's decoy pulled reserves away. Generators died in sequence. Shields flickered out. Walls loomed naked. Kincaid signaled forward. Brigade rolled, tanks with fresh shells, infantry mounted. Kresh manned barricades, but blind fire met aimed volleys. Breaches blasted. Troops poured in. Street fighting erupted. Rook led point, shotgun booming carapaces. "Push!" Sato rigged buildings to collapse on pursuers. Ibera jammed their last comms. Kincaid's track ground Central Avenue. Sharon's palace rose ahead, spires clawing sky. A heavy dropped from a rampart. Cannon charged. Kincaid's gunner nailed it mid-charge, boom shook blocks. Palace doors buckled under tank rams. Inside, Sharon stood on dais, guards arrayed. Her mandibles flared. "Dirt scuttlers breach, surrender not to primitives." Kincaid dismounted, rifle leveled. "Your sensors failed, your drills failed, your automation failed." Guards charged. Firefight chewed the hall. Rook dropped 2. Sato fragged the flank. Last guard fell. Sharon's claws dropped. Surrender click. Earth Coalition feeds lit green. Siege broken, capital retaken. Kincaid keyed wideband. "Brigade stands down, victory." But outer reports trickled. Kresh reinforcements inbound. Sharon's eyes gleamed. "Fleet comes, you hold nothing." Kincaid smiled cold. "We hold you." Logistics trucks already rolled fresh supplies. Next fight brewed. Kincaid's radio crackled. "Decoy away, Colonel, armor biting." She gripped the command track's rail, eyes locked on the river bend through dust-choked scopes. Smoke plumes rose 3 clicks east. Her faint brigade ragged infantry and captured Kresh half-tracks, slamming fake charges at the main ford. Alien heavy tanks growled response, treads churning mud as they pivoted from the western crossings. "Confirm pull," Kincaid barked. "Ibera status on ghost signals." Major Tomas Ibera hunched beside her, fingers dancing over jammer pads. "Their net's flooded, ma'am. Think we're committing everything east. Reserves shifting now." Kresh armor lumbered into view, plasma coils glowing hot. 8 heavies plus scout skimmers. Perfect. They abandoned the quiet shallows where her real thrust waited. Kincaid keyed brigade net. "Sato, green light, breach that gate." 2 clicks west, Captain Nia Sato's demo team crouched in canal shadows. She slapped charges on the storm gate's underbelly, water lapping at her boots. Kresh patrols hummed overhead, but Ibera's decoys drowned their scans. "Charges set," Sato whispered into comms. "Draining in 3. Blast muffled underwater. Gate hinges screamed. Canal torrent gushed out, exposing a mud-slick trench, ancient sewer bypass, now her hidden lane. Sato waved her squad forward. "Move, engineers first, clear the sump." Mud sucked at their treads. First APC bogged, winch cables snapping taut. Sato, cursed, shoveled debris, rigged a tow from her dozer. Water level dropped fast, revealing rusted grates and Kresh sensor stubs, blind without power. "Route open," she reported. "Infantry inbound." Kincaid nodded, track rumbling toward the exposed bank. Rook's voice cut in gravel rough. First platoon mounting. These kids look green, Colonel. Green fights if you make 'em, Kincaid replied. Rook, own that corridor. Command Sergeant Major Eli Rook spat into the muck, shotgun slung low. His platoon splashed from Sato's breach, rifles high. Mud corridor stretched half a click narrow, flanked by sheer canal walls, bunkers dotting the far lip. Kresh spotters finally pinged. Bolters chattered from concrete nests. Down, Rook roared. First man dropped, leg shredded. He rolled left, barked fire teams. Alpha suppress left bunker, Bravo flank right via the pipe. Grenades arced. Bunkers spat return fire, plasma scorching earth. Rook charged the right nest, squad bounding behind. Shotgun boomed, carapace cracked, Kresh gunner slumped. Clear, his boot kicked the bolter aside. Left bunker held. Rook signaled Sato's trailing engineers. Bridget! Sato's team fired grapples across the pipe gap. Cables bit concrete. Infantry swarmed over, rifles barking. Coordinated volleys chewed the slit ports. Last defender thrashed, silenced. Rook keyed up. Corridor hours, Colonel, pushing to bunkers 3 and 4. Kincaid's screens flickered. Drone feed showed Rook's line grinding forward. Kresh reacted slow, armor still chasing ghosts east. Mortars, stand by, she ordered. Choke points marked. Gunners zeroed tubes. Kresh resupply convoy snaked into view, hulking trucks feeding the siege line, plasma pallets stacked high. They funneled through a ravine bridge right on her clock. Fire mission, Kincaid snapped. Timed salvos sever the tail. Shells whooshed. First barrage bracketed the bridge, span buckled, lead trucks plunging. Kresh escorts slewed, bolters wild. Second salvo, fuelers erupted, fireballs blooming. Tail enders reversed into kill zones, mortars walking fire. Convoy commander squawked over jammed bands, ignored. Trucks piled wreckage, blocking the ravine. Resupply cut, Ibera confirmed. Their line starves in hours. Kincaid punched the dash. Wedge now, all units, drive the seam. Her track led, treads biting the mudflat. Rook's infantry fan right, Sato's engineers bridging secondary gaps. Tanks rolled center, cannons traversing. Kresh outer siege line loomed, trenches, wire auto turrets, but reserves stripped, bunkers half-manned, trucks aflame behind. Contact, Rook yelled. Bolter nests raked the advance. Kincaid's gunner traversed. Main cannon barked, turret vaporized. Flank left, she called. APCs surged, troops dismounting in bounds. Sato's voice, booby-trapping the wire, Colonel, they'll chase ghosts. Engineers laced Kresh approach paths with claymores, timed charges. First alien counterpush hit, skimmers probing the wedge. Boom, claymore shredded the lead. Survivors veered into Rook's kill sack. Rook's shotgun thundered. Fire, pour it on, infantry emptied mags. Skimmers flipped, crews clawing free, cut down. Kresh line cracked. Sharon's troops fell back, mandibles clicking panic. They expected wall assaults, not schedule sabotage. Kincaid's wedge punched through. Corridor yawned into siege suburbs, barricades toppled, Kresh fleeing. City edge breached, she broadcast. Roll to central, logistics push supplies. Trucks surged behind, ammo pallets dumping at forward caches. Ibera fed false pings, Kresh thought flanks collapsed everywhere. Rook linked up, face mud-streaked. Brigade solid, ma'am. What's next? Palace, Kincaid said. We own their timetable, they own nothing. Sharon's palace feeds crackled through captured relays. The Praetor commander paced her dais, claws scraping stone. Primitives scatter at the walls, sensors confirm, disorganized rabble. Her aides chittered agreement. Human brutes broke on fortified lines before. No coordination, just fury. Alarms wailed. Western sensors blanked. Reserves reported east, decoy armor fully engaged. Insignificant, Sharon snapped. Reinforce the fords. Then canal breach pinged, dismissed as flood. Mortars silenced chokes, no resupply warning till flames lit the horizon. Aid burst in. Siege line pierced, humans wedged central. Sharon's mandibles flared. Impossible, they lacked doctrine. Kincaid's track ground forward, brigade coalescing. Street grids opened, Kresh barricades manned by shaken holdouts. Rook led point squads, clearing intersections. Eyes sharp, block by block. Sato rigged collapses, buildings toppled on pursuit skimmers. Ibera jammed comms final relays. Central Avenue cleared, palace spires clawed skyward. A Kresh heavy dropped from ramparts, cannon charging. Kincaid's gunner fired first. Boom shook blocks, wreckage smoked. Tanks rammed doors. Inside, Sharon arrayed guards. Dirt scuttlers. Surrender to primitives. Kincaid dismounted, rifle steady. Your schedule failed first. Guards charged. Rook dropped two with shotgun blasts. Sato fragged the flank. Last fell. Sharon's claws dropped. Surrender clicked. Coalition feeds lit green. But outer scopes pinged. Reinforcements inbound. Sharon's eyes gleamed. Fleet comes, you hold dust. Kincaid smiled, watching logistics trucks unload. We hold you and the road home. Rook clapped her shoulder. Next wave's clock ticks hours now, Colonel, she nodded. Mortars retargeted. The counterstrike rolled on. Kincaid's track shuddered to a halt behind a shattered hab block. Rook, block by block, skip their nests, isolate and starve 'em. Her finger stabbed the TAC map overlay. Every street a grid square. Equation enemy fire times exposure equals dead Marines. Variables minimized now. Rook's gravel voice crackled back. Copy, Colonel, point squads moving. His squads darted forward low and fast. They bypassed the Kresh bunker at the intersection, plasma vents glowing hot. Instead, they sealed side alleys with demo charges. Kresh inside barked orders, but no targets emerged. Isolated. Kincaid watched thermal feeds bloom. Her brigade, scraped from survivors, refugees, shattered companies, coalesced into teeth. Logistics trucks idled behind, slinging ammo pallets. No chaos, just vectors. A Kresh skimmer whined overhead, scanners sweeping. Ibara's voice cut in. Flooding their comms now, ma'am. Fake distress from their western reserves. He patched through, garbled Kresh warble, mimicking their siege line. Breached, humans at the fords. Skimmer hesitated, banked east. Kincaid smirked. Major Ibara hunched in the rear compartment, fingers flying over his jammer rig. Alien doctrine cracked on doubt. Friendly fire hesitation bought seconds, priceless. Bravo reports clear on grid 5-2, Rook growled. Civilians ahead, marking columns. Kincaid nodded. Evac them first. No fighters in the mix. Rook's teams painted laser designators on civilian lines, old folks, kids, clutching bundles. They funneled into side streets away from the grind. Kresh spotters ignored them, primitives hurting primitives. Gunfire erupted 2 blocks over. Kincaid's periscope swiveled. Sato's engineers hauled rebar from rubble, wiring it into pits. Traps hot, Colonel, Sato reported, her voice steady under fire. Funneling their heavies into kill lanes. A Kresh tank rumbled into view, treads chewing pavement. It chased a faint squad. Sato triggered the line, rubble avalanched, tons of ferrocrete slamming the turret. Tank slewed, cannon blind. Anti-armor teams popped from doorways, javelins streaked. Secondary boom, wreck smoked. Kresh counterfire lashed back. Plasma bolts scorched Kincaid's track hull. She ducked as shrapnel pinged. Push the skips, Central Avenue next. Brigade reports flooded in. Blocks fell like dominoes. Skipped strongpoints radioed panic, no resupply, no backup. Ibara layered more fakes, fleet inbound delay. Hold positions. Kresh paused at crossroads, mandibles clicking doubt. Rook's lead squad hit resistance. Heavy at 6-4, ma'am, dug in. Flank it, Kincaid ordered. Sato bridge the gap. Sato's crew sprinted under fire. They slung portable spans across a cratered street, rapid hard foam expanding into solid decking. Marines crossed in seconds, encircled the heavy, breached its flank with thermite. Inside, screams cut short. Kincaid's track ground forward. Dust choked the air, acrid with burnt circuits. Civilians streamed past in marked columns, Rook's grunts herding them clear. One kid stared wide-eyed at her rifle. She flashed a thumbs up. He bolted. Strongpoints folding, Rook reported. They're pulling back to the palace line. Good, predictable. Kincaid adjusted the map. Palace spires loomed 3 clicks ahead, Sharon's lair. Broadcast tower flanked it, key to the coalition feeds. Cut that and Earth saw victory live. Ibara leaned in. Their central net's jittery, Colonel. One more push, I jam the palace relays. Do it. Kincaid keyed brigade-wide. Final wedge, Central Avenue. Logistics, keep the trucks rolling. Trucks surged, dumping fuel drums and mortar tubes. Grit fueled them, humans who turned route into reclaim. No speeches, just pallets unloaded under drone fire. Sato's voice pinged. Rubble traps set on approach roads, tanks'll pile up. A Kresh patrol burst from an alley, 6 warriors, claws gleaming, plasma lances charging. Rook's shotgun boomed first. Buckshot shredded armor joints. Marines piled on, rifles barking point-blank. Last Kresh thrashed, claw severed by Sato's entrenching tool. She wiped green ichor. Clear. Kincaid dismounted, boots crunching glass. Brigade closed ranks. Central Avenue opened, a kill zone of her design. Skimmers buzzed high, but Ibara's decoys pulled them east. Fake armor signatures danced on their scopes. Tower team move, she ordered. Rook led the assault squad up the tower's stalk. Kresh snipers nested midway. Sato's booby traps triggered, rigged elevators plummeting, crushing defenders below. Rook's team stormed the platform, bursts of fire, silence. Tower secure, Rook grunted. Engineers patching feeds. Kincaid watched the city grid light green on her pad. Isolated strongpoints winked out one by one, ammo-starved, flanks crushed. Kresh doctrine overwhelmed primitives, failed against math. Ibera's jammer peaked, palace comms blanked. Sharon's voice leaked through static. Reserves where? None came, decoys held them. Palace gates ahead. Kresh heavies dropped from ramparts, cannons whining charge. Kincaid's gunner nailed the lead. Boom rocked the avenue. Wreckage blocked the next. Tanks ram, she snapped. Her brigade scavenged armor, human rigs, patched Kresh hulks, barreled forward. Doors buckled, infantry poured in. Inside, marble halls echoed claws. Sharon arrayed guards, elite, mandibles flared. Dirt scuttlers dare the core? Kincaid leveled her rifle. Your siege broke first. Guards charged, lances spitting plasma. Rook dropped two with shotgun blasts, hulls rupturing. Sato fragged the flank, grenade bounced true, shredding legs. Ibera picked off the straggler with precise bursts. Sharon's claws dropped weapon. Compound eyes widened at the humans, bloodied, steady, no rage. Just discipline, primitives, coordinated. We plan, Kincaid said. You assumed. Surrender terms flashed on her pad. Coalition feeds went live from the tower, images of advancing Marines, falling Kresh lines, civilians safe. Earth cheered. Outer scopes pinged, reinforcements inbound, dust clouds rising. Sharon's mandibles twitched. Fleet vectors shift, you hold dust only. Kincaid smiled, watching logistics trucks unload fresh mortar rounds. We hold you, the roads, the skies next. Rook clapped her shoulder. Clock's hours, Colonel. Mortars retargeted, tubes thumped. The counterstrike rolled on, but scopes sharpened. Kresh dropships screamed inbound, dozens, bellies dumping troops. Kincaid keyed comms. Sato booby-trapped the pads, Ibera spoofed their landing zones. Rook rallied the brigade. No panic, equations shifted. Blood as penalty, they'd make the aliens pay double. Rook grinned through camo paint. Civ columns clear, ma'am, fighters fresh. Sato reported from the perimeter. Rubble walls up, funnels ready. Ibera nodded. Decoy signatures east, looks like our whole force. Dropships veered, crashed into kill lanes. Sato's traps ignited, fuel drums blooming fireballs, wreckage chained explosions. Surviving Kresh spilled out, funneled into marine fire. Kincaid's track pivoted, pushed the wedge wider. Palace's ours city next. Block by block reversed. Kresh reserves hit the skips, starved holdouts linking up late. Too late. Brigade logistics flowed endless, ammo, medevac, drones. Sharon watched from custody, bound claws twitching. How? No doctrine matches. Kincaid glanced back. We adapt, you scheduled. Aide burst into the command node, human runner, breathless. Outer fords held, Colonel, coalition heavies linking up. Green across the board, but horizon glowed, fleet shadows. Logistics, Kincaid ordered. Prep the broadcast for surrender broadcast. Sharon signs live, he glared. Fleet crushes, signs now, Rook growled, shotgun loose. Or your troops eat mortars first. Claws scratched holopad, terms locked. Tower beamed it wide, Kresh channels, human nets, surrender rippled. Reinforcements faltered mid-drop. Pilots aborted, fleet comms jammed silent. Kincaid exhaled. Brigade stood firm amid rubble. Humans battered unbreakable. Aliens learned late. Rook slung his weapon. Grit wins, Colonel, she nodded. Trucks rumbled past, bound outward. Counterstrike expanded. Earth waited, one street at a time, math perfect. Kincaid's track lurched over shattered concrete. Artillery cut the main grid now. Shells screamed overhead. Power conduits in the Capitol complex erupted in blue arcs. Lights winked out across the alien fortress, towers that squatted like steel ticks on the old government plaza. Kresh searchlights swept blindly. Her brigade's drones swarmed low, jamming landing beacons. Dropship signatures flickered east per Ibera's decoys. She keyed the command net. Engineers flood the reservoirs, no water inside by dawn. Pumps reversed upstream, pipes groaned and burst. Alien troops inside would ration spit soon. Kincaid scanned the holomap. Her battered survivors, 2,000 rifles, half-tracks, and scavenged alien gear curled around the complex like a noose. Logistics trucks idled behind, ammo pallets stacked high. No collapse today. A runner skidded up. Colonel, Sato's team reports tunnel progress. 50 meters in, but drones are thick. Kincaid nodded. Tell her to keep digging. Surface stays hot. She pictured Sato below, captain driving charges into bedrock, her crew hauling spoil in silence while Kresh drones pulverized the plaza above. Dust choked the air vents. One wrong tap and the tunnel caved. Explosions rattled the track. Kincaid gripped the hatch. Rook status, static crackled. Command Sergeant Major Eli Rook's voice cut through. Breakout attempt, East Gate, Kresh heavies pushing hard. Platoon took hits, dragging him back now. She zoomed the feed. Rook's line held a rubble barricade. His shotgun boomed. Alien power armor hulked forward, plasma lances carving kill zones. Marines fired disciplined bursts, flankers suppress grenadiers. Rook hauled a limp corporal by the collar, dumping him behind cover. Fall back on my mark. His platoon reformed, dragging wounded into the line. Kresh faltered, withdrew under counter-battery fire. Rook spat into the mic. Line holds, Colonel, grit over gear. Kincaid exhaled. Good work, resupply inbound. Her brigade wasn't superhuman, just planned. Kresh doctrine demanded open skies, orbital strikes, massed armor. She denied them all. Encirclement tightened. Snipers picked sentries, sappers mined approaches. Trucks rolled in water bowsers for humans only. Ibarra's face appeared on her screen. Deception live, Colonel. Fake ceasefire channel open. Major Tomas Ibarra leaned into his concealed rig, voice modulated to mimic a rooted commander. Kresh Command, this is Human Remnant Leader. We request parley, coordinates East Ridge. Static hissed. Sharon's voice rasped back, arrogant, clicking mandibles audible. Primitives beg mercy, guards redeploy to gate, ceasefire accepted. Kincaid's lips twitched. Perfect. Guards pulled, Ibarra nodded. Critical gate skeleton crew now, breach window wide open. She watched the feeds. Kresh troops shuffled east, lured by phantom humans waving white flags on decoy emitters. Sharon's fortress, built from capital ruins, shielded domes, auto turrets, became her trap. No power meant failing shields, no water sapped morale, no landings trapped them inside, night deepened. Kincaid paced the track's cramped interior, reports flooded in. Sato, tunnel complete, charges set under plaza, breaching charge primed. Rook, line stable, wounded patched back in fighting shape. Ibarra, deception holding, Sharon's buying it. Logistics chief, last reserves fueled, ammo green for dawn push. She checked her watch. Hour to go, Kresh drones buzzed futilely overhead, batteries low. Inside the fortress, aliens clustered at the wrong gate, claws twitching at ghost signals. Humans waited silent. Dawn -5, Kincaid broadcast. Sato, light the fuse, muffled thumps echoed. Plaza pavement buckled. 100-meter gash yawned, tunnel mouth spewing smoke. Marines poured through Nia Sato at point with demo pack. Breaching! Her team slapped shaped charges on inner walls. Booms rippled. Kresh guards spun, too late. Turrets slewed blindly without power. Rook's platoon surged from the east, feinting the ceasefire trap. For the line! Shotgun blasts shredded confused aliens. Ibarra's snipers picked officers from shadows. Kincaid's track rolled forward, wedge command. Commit reserves all in. Last trucks emptied, fresh platoons, heavy mortars, engineer bridges over craters. Plasma scorched the air. Kresh rallied at the core dome. Sharon's banners fluttered atop. Her marines hit them block by block. Sato bridged a moat with scavenged girders under fire, welding torches flaring. Rook dragged another wounded man, bellowing orders. Standards hold, push! Kincaid stood in the hatch, rifle barking. A Kresh elite lunged, claws raking air. She sidestepped, drove her bayonet home. It gurgled, mandibles slack. Forward! Logistics flowed, medics patching, drones spotting, ammo belts slapping home. The dome cracked. Sato's final charge blew the gates. Marines flooded in. Sharon whirled in his throne room, guards evaporating under fire. Impossible. You scatter like vermin. Kincaid entered last, Rook at her shoulder. We encircled, you scheduled. Ibarra secured the comms node. Sato rigged traps on escape tunnels. Sharon's claws flexed. Fleet inbound, you lose. She keyed the broadcast rig. Sign surrender. Or your troops die first. Rook leveled his shotgun. The Praetor commander glared. Claws scratched the pad, terms locked. Rubble walls rose outside, funnels primed for dropships. Kincaid's track pivoted, palace secured, city next. But horizon glowed, fleet shadows loomed. Logistics, she snapped. Prep the beam, wide cast. Sharon signed live, surrender rippled out, reinforcements faltered. Brigade stood amid ruins, battered, unbreakable. Rook slung his weapon. Grit wins, trucks rumbled past, Counter-Strike expanded, one street at a time. Kincaid eyed the map, Coalition held for now. But Kresh Core worlds beckoned, her noose tightened wider, explosions bloomed east. Ibara's voice crackled. Decoy signatures live, they're veering, she smiled, trap sprung again. Marines poured through the jagged breach in the capital atrium's outer wall. LT, Kalmara Kincaid vaulted the rubble first, rifle up, sweeping left. Shattered marble crunched under her boots. Kresh sentries scrambled from alcoves, plasma lances igniting with high-pitched whines. Suppressing fire? Kincaid barked. Her brigade's volley cracked the air. Two aliens crumpled, chitin cracking like eggshells. She advanced, squad tight behind. Logistics teams hauled ammo crates on hover sleds, medics prepositioned at the choke point. Sato's voice crackled over comms. Breach secure, Colonel. Tunnels rigged. Anyone tries flanking, they eat plasma. Kincaid keyed her mic. Copy. Rook, take point on inner doors. Ibara, jam their local net. The atrium stretched vast, a dome of alien crystal now spiderwebbed from orbital strikes. Kincaid's platoon fanned out, clearing side chambers. A Kresh heavy burst from a balcony, its cannon belching fire. Private Ellis Dove rolled and lobbed a grenade. The blast pulped the alien mid-stride. Room clear, Ellis yelled. Kincaid nodded, signaling forward. They moved room by room, logistics her edge. Drones buzzed ahead, feeding thermal pings to her HUD. Ammo resupply waited every 50 meters. No pauses, no waste. Rook's gravel voice cut in. Command chamber ahead, guards heavy, we punch through. Kincaid double-timed it, brigade compressing into assault stacks. Rook led his squad, shotgun booming like thunder. He kicked in the vault door. Kresh elites charged, six-limbed fury. Rook sidestepped a claw swipe, pumped buckshot into a thorax. Standards Marines, no heroes. His team flowed in disciplined fire. One alien triggered a self-destruct panel, red lights pulsing. Rook lunged, slammed his boot on the console. Wires sparked. He ripped the core free with gloved hands. Charges down, chamber ours. Kincaid entered seconds later, rifle trained. Sharon stood at his throne dais, mandibles clicking rage. His guards lay in heaps, ichor pooling. The Praetor commander loomed twice human height, armored in iridescent plate. Primitives, you breach my sanctum on borrowed time, fleet vectors inbound. Kincaid lowered her rifle a fraction, not arrogance, calculation. Her HUD scrolled data, Ibara's decoys pulling reinforcements east, supply lines severed. Kresh ammo logs hacked and mirrored. She strode to the central comms rig, Rook covering her six. Sign it, she said, slapping a surrender pad on the console. Your fleet's cut off. Reinforcements diverted, ammo counts zeroed in your forward bases. Sharon's compound eyes narrowed. Lies, humans scatter. We cataloged your rabble, logistics crippled, morale fractured. She activated the broadcast array. Hollows flickered live, empty Kresh dropship bays, stranded convoys under drone fire, coalition forces holding flanks. Ibara's voice patched in. Their net's ours, Colonel, broadcasting surrender demand fleet-wide. Rook racked his shotgun. Sign bug or we start with you. Sharon's claws flexed, scraping the throne. He scanned the feeds. Realization hit, his doctrine shattered. Humans hadn't charged blind, they'd planned and surled, starved his lines. Claws scratched the pad. Terms locked, capital yield, troops stand down, fleet recall. Kincaid exhaled. Medics in, treat their wounded under guard, no reprisals. Doc Harlan's team hustled forward, kits open. They stabilized a gurgling Kresh sentry, IVs piercing chitin. Guards watched, rifles steady, mercy with teeth. Secure the perimeter, Kincaid ordered. Sato, seal escape routes. Sato's reply buzzed. Traps hot, they're bottled. Outside, the city smoldered. Brigade trucks rumbled, funneling supplies. Kincaid eyed the surrender feed, Kresh units across the capital powering down weapons. Coalition chatter lit up, holds firming, counterpushes launching. But the dome's peak loomed above, flagpole bent but standing. Symbol time. Rook with me, flag run. They climbed the spiral stair, boots pounding shattered steps. Rubble avalanched behind. At the summit, wind howled through breaches. The battered Earth flag, torn from weeks of siege, waited in Kincaid's pack. She affixed it to the pole. Rook hauled it up, rope creaking. Fabric snapped taut against the sky. Below in the command chamber, Sharon watched via hololink forced feed. His mandibles stilled. No rage, attention sharp as a blade. Kincaid keyed the wide-beam transmitter. Coalition actual, this is Kincaid. Capital secured, flag up. Kresh surrender broadcast live, push now. Static crackled, then cheers. Rook clapped her shoulder. Grit wins, ma'am. She scanned the horizon. Fleet shadows veered, decoys working. Explosions bloomed east, Ibarra's traps claiming stragglers, but core worlds waited. Her noose tightened. Marines cheered from the atrium below. Kincaid gripped the rail. Humiliation reversed. Discipline delivered. Sato's voice cut in. Colonel, inbound signals, Kresh High Command querying surrender auth. Sharon's image flickered on her wrist comm. You raise your rag. What now, human? Kincaid met his gaze. We rebuild, you withdraw, or the brigade expands. His claws twitched, first time he'd blinked. She turned to the city, trucks rolled, medics worked. Logistics flowed, counterstrike live. Kincaid's brigade swept the outer halls. Kresh holdouts popped from vents, lances firing wild. She dropped one with controlled bursts, center mass, no waste. Flank left. Ellis and his fire team peeled off, frags rolling, screeches echoed, silenced. Room by room, they claimed the capital. Sato's engineers bridged a collapsed gallery with rapid deploy spans. Drones scouted dead ends. No ambushes stuck. Ibarra patched through from the comms node. Alien doctrine logs downloading. They pegged us as horde fighters, no supply chains. Kincaid smirked mid-stride. Their mistake. Rook's squad hit the command antechamber. Heavy doors buckled under breaching charges. Inside, Sharon's elite guard formed a claw wall. Rook bellowed, fire discipline, pick heads. Shotgun blasts and rifle cracks overlapped. Aliens fell in sequence, flanks rolled, center pierced. One guard lunged at Rook. He parried with his stock, drove the bayonet through its eye. Clear, Rook roared. Kincaid pushed past bodies. The throne room opened, opulent, screens flickering defeat. Sharon rose, lance humming. You, he hissed, voice modulator buzzing. The scheduler, we tracked your trucks, primitive convoys. She leveled her rifle. Tracked wrong, we turned your roads against you. Rook circled, shotgun trained. Sharon's lance dipped. Guards gone, he stood alone. Kincaid accessed the rig. Data streamed, 87% Kresh ammo expended in failed pushes. Reinforcements 40 clicks out, fuel dry, coalition pincer closing. Broadcast starts now. She hit transmit. Feeds went live across channels. Sharon lunged for the console. Rook tripped him with a sweep. The alien sprawled, mandibles scraping floor. Sign, Kincaid repeated. He rose slow, claws hovered. Feeds showed his fleet icons blinking red, cut off. Pads scratched, surrender sealed. Medics flooded in under her order. They triaged Kresh wounded guards, ensuring no tricks. One alien thrashed, Harlan pinned it, pumped stabilizer. Stable, under watch. Kincaid nodded. Prevent reprisals, win the peace. Flag ascent next. She and Rook climbed, wind whipping. At the top, she shook out the flags, stars and stripes frayed but fierce. Rook ran it up, it caught the light. Sharon's hololink activated unbidden. He stared upward via drone feed. Alive, defeated, eyes locked on the symbol. Impossible, he muttered. Kincaid transmitted. Coalition roared back, advances confirmed. Her brigade stood unbreakable amid ruins. Logistics prepped the next push. Grid eternal, explosions rattled the dome anew. Ibarra reported. Decoy fleet signatures holding, they're chasing ghosts. Kincaid descended, plan forming. City blocks next, then orbitals. Humans planned, aliens paid. She shouldered her rifle, forward.